Good evening, and welcome once again to the Varlastan Circle, a D&D 5e adventure in a homebrew setting brought to you by Penance RPG, an actual play podcast and Twitch variety stream. You can find out more about Penance RPG at penancerpg.com or in the stream information below. I'm Lunrwolf, an occasional variety streamer and the creator of the Varlastan setting. I'll be guiding our cast through the trials that await them this week, starting with Ari-ah.
I am Dragon. I am playing Ari-ah, our Asima ranger. As usual, I tend to give Ari-ah's emotional state or reactions to where we left off. And right now, she's pretty somewhat apprehensive and deeply unimpressed with Mal for being clumsy and getting captured. Might not actually end up as a problem, but exasperated in general might be the best description.
I think that's fair. Sillik.
Hello, I'm Eden. My character is Sillik, who has been asleep for quite some time and is going to be waking up a bit confused, I suspect. Yeah, that's the long and short of it at the moment, I think.
Yep, I think that probably covers you. Jacq.
Hi, I'm Amy. I play Jacq, our happy-go-lucky rock gnome. Jack's all about following the leader, and right now, Ari-ah is leading the way. So he's just like, okay, we're going after Mal. Let's go.
See how that works. And last, but certainly not least, the culprit here, Malixire.
Hi, I'm Coakley, and I play Malixire, the Tiefling Divine Soul Sorcerer. And in my defense, I think the problem is everyone else allowing me to do plans.
I was about to say, if you said you were left unsupervised, we were supervising.
Yeah, exactly. And still I end up
slightly concussed from having been hit in the face with a fish. This is all on you.
And you know Jack's going to say yes to a plan.
Still, I am currently waiting out my prison sentence until I can walk over and undo the latch and walk out. So,
Indeed. So, where did we leave off? Other than that Malixire can walk out of his prison cell anytime he likes.
In a bit of a pickle.
Yeah. So, Jacq and I are hidden under my Pass Without Trace field. Mm-hmm. And we have slipped a coin from the other side through to Mal so that he knows that we are here, so he doesn't just use a fireball and kill us.
Yep.
Because you now have form for doing that.
He does, rather.
Listen, no one died. For very long.
Just!
It was fine.
Do you know how much Jacq had to pay for medical supplies?
I had to pay a lot of gold.
As the saying goes, the attempted word is the important one when you're talking about attempted manslaughter.
Exactly. It's fine.
There's laughter in manslaughter, so...
But yes, currently, the plan is for me to wait out and see who appears and see if I can get any information out of them before we stage our daring escape. But due to the general lack of crime on this side of the Vale, prisons are not exactly built up to standard. So I think escape isn't necessarily going to be a problem, unless I have to mark my way out. In which case, that's also probably not going to be a problem. But,
lots of other things have been not going to be a problem over the weeks, Malexia, and yet, however it comes about, you're always a problem.
About the one thing we haven't screwed up when it comes to the circle is not doing anything with those shoes that the bigoted hermit had.
Yep.
They were clearly a trap.
Oh, they were. They were quite a good trap at that. You just dodged it. But never mind.
Yeah.
It's almost like I know my GM. Okay, so what are we gonna do?
Yep. So
Or just sit and wait?
I think to a certain extent, even a little bit of sitting and waiting. Meanwhile, Sillik is rousing slowly from an overlong slumber. Finds himself draped, sort of fastened securely, but mainly draped over the back of the horse. And Emile is standing nearby, just watching what looks like a great big crater in front of him.
Hey. So Sillik will, I suppose, kind of awkwardly roll off the back of the horse. Oh, where am I? Where's everybody? Looking around.
Ooh, you're awake! You're awake!
Oh, yes. And he'll be rubbing his eyes and kind of stretching out. Oh, it was a lovely sleep. Feel so refreshed. Slept like the dead. Where is everybody?
They're on the other side. Because there isn't a town here, and there's a town there.
Oh, the other side? You mean they went through a portal?
Yep. I had to open it, so I had to stay here.
Oh, well. I suppose I should... Do you think I should go after them? They left you here. Are you okay?
I'm okay. I think you should probably wait. Because
Okay.
it sounded like there was some bother.
Oh, well, that's all the more reason to go through, surely. But then... I'm a little confused. What's going on exactly?
Oh, this is Pool. This is the town we wanted. But it's a crater.
Oh, yes, so I see. And he'll look out over this vast crater and just kind of hand up like, oh, it makes you wonder quite what happened. But I suppose that's why they're on the other side, right? Well, if you say wait, then I suppose I need some food. Let's make a meal.
Yep. Well, I think Jack left some sandwiches. Well, that's nice. And then we'll go and stand by the portal, and we'll be ready in case any more fish fly out of it.
Oh, fish. Well, yes, I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Okay. Emile goes rummaging through one of the packs, and Jack's secret sandwich stash is no longer secret.
I don't really think it was a secret stash, to be fair.
It's no.
I mean, Jack has always struck me as somebody who has lots of secrets.
What's a
For
pocket?
as long as they remember that they thought they might be a secret, and then they're just common knowledge, and then Jack forgets that they're common knowledge and they're a secret again. So, meanwhile, in the prison, the one guard lurking by the door, who doesn't seem to care about anything or anyone and is very much just a token presence, appears to look out towards the town square and straighten himself up quite a lot. And looks like he's thinking about whether he should be bowing or saluting or both. You're not sure who might be coming towards you, but he's certainly impressing the guard.
In that case, the prison songs I've been singing will get louder and more obnoxious. As I don't even think they've given me a mug, but I'll find something to rattle along the bars.
It's not like they took any of your equipment off you, so
That's a fair point. I'll use my dagger then and just.
In the meantime, Ari-ah is just wincing.
Jack's tilting his head, thinking, "Can I use sleight of hand to get the keys off the guard?" But he's gonna wait. He's gonna wait.
Yeah. Fair enough. Oh, the guard steps forward just outside the line of the building. You can almost hear a conversation. The guard seems to be a little bit whiny, a little bit unsure of himself. The other speaker, you don't recognise the voice, but there's a very marked confidence about it. The reasonably final sounding, "Yes, sir." The guard continues to walk away from the building. And an older, rumpier figure steps inside. Glances up and down the corridor. All that fuss for one measly guy. I don't care whose kid, grandkid, whatever you are. I don't see any reason to care about you. I'd just lock this up and leave you to it.
It's rich coming for some prick who's set out in the boonies like you. Come here, let's have a look at you.
You think I'm going to walk closer to you?
Look, I'll put my
Really
knife down.
quite unimaginative, aren't you? I know you're still fully armed. I know you don't need to be armed. We had all the information we need. The only thing preventing you from being locked in here to starve to death is exactly whose blood's in your veins. Now,
I was going to say, at that point, I'll walk over to the door and flick up the latch. So much for locked in here. I'll not open the cage. I'll just flick the latch up.
blinks once and is otherwise completely unmoved. Now, what was this about some Slytherin appearing from nowhere? You know an awful lot that you shouldn't know.
Well, it begs a question about exactly what you know, friend. There's a lot going on here.
There is, isn't there? I don't think you're in position to be asking the question, Malakthire. Because I have you at an advantage.
What, you know my name?
I know exactly who you are.
Well, I'll give you that. You're doing better than me. All I know is I'm the guy who could level this entire building with both of us in it without so much as breaking a sweat.
You are very welcome to do that, if you so wish.
So, what would you like to know about the appearing from nowhere?
The only thing I would like to know.
Oh.
We've lost Jack.
Nope.
Order will be restored momentarily.
Jack passed out for a minute, we're fine.
Don't know what happened there.
Alright.
Oh no, we're all mixed up now.
We are. We're fine once
Yeah.
Jack's cameras reappeared. There we go.
Sorry, I don't know what happened there.
That's alright.
Discord just went.
Discord does Discord thing. We shall carry on.
It happens.
The only thing I want to know is how you got all the way through to where you came from and nobody has killed you yet.
We're surprisingly a lot more popular over there than we are here. People love us. What is it they call us? Saviors of the blighted. People there to look after a land that's been left to rot and die.
That's a very fancy name for people who don't have any skin in the game.
You can see how much of my hair I've lost. I mean, we've got plenty of skin in the game here. My wee pal nearly died multiple times. Fair enough, it was mostly me that did it, but that's not the point.
Hair isn't skin, and if you'd paid more attention in your classes, you would know that.
I don't think you remember what kind of classes I was in. It was mostly point and shoot.
Yes. That's where we put the ones who can't aim.
Ari-ah wants to sneak up behind this guy and smack him on the back of the head with the pommel of my short sword.
Okay.
Because I think we might be able to take him captive and back through to the other side.
Jack
deal
will
with
help with this. Jack will loop a bit of rope round his legs, pull them out from underneath him.
Okay.
Okay. Is that just
Dragon,
a normal
Dragon,
attack?
you need to give me a stealth check, which will cover both of you. Remember, pass without trace gives you benefit.
I also have a +3 to stealth.
What does pass without trace give me?
Ludicrous like plus 10, I think.
I was going to say, I kept wanting to say +10, but
Yes, it is. See. That would give us 32.
That's a reasonable stealth check. You just about pass unnoticed. And yes, you can make an attack with advantage because you're undetected.
Roll 20.
Aye.
If ever there was a time. You draw your short sword, aim carefully just behind his ear, and you smack into his skull, and he drops to the ground. He is barely stunned.
As long as he's not dead, I don't care.
Jack, seeing as he's stunned, Jack is gonna start tying his legs.
needless to say, Malixire hasn't even noticed. He's still talking shit. And another thing as well, you absolute... Oh, I'll assume that was one of you two.
Well, it might be somewhat difficult for Jack to reach up there.
Yeah, I can only jump so high.
Anyway, let's get him secured. We can do pass without trace again on the 4 of us. We take him back to the other side. And he then has no allies. Maybe we can get Valioth to help us deal with him and get as much information as possible.
Aye. Sounds good to
Sounds
me.
good.
Open my door, come out and join the fray. Give him a wee kick.
He doesn't seem to think much of you, Mal.
Who does? It's fine. I'm sure we'll find out more once we get him over the other side. And hey, would you look at that? It's almost like my plan worked. Kinda.
Shh. We're not in the clear yet.
Aye, but they've been listening to me talk to myself all day, so I don't think they'll
but
notice.
we need to go before that guard gets here.
True.
Though I guess he's unlikely to be back without being told that this superior is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Now, do I need to recast this? Is a question. I think I do. It's an hour-long concentration.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. It does say for the duration each creature you choose.
It's,
So it should
it's
be-
worded ambiguously. I'm pretty sure there's a clarification, but I'm not going and looking up the clarification in the middle of the game. So I'm going to say no, you don't need to read
Yay! Mal and this.
it. Because it's
Inner
much
circle.
cooler to not have to recast it. So let's do.
I select Mal and this inner circle prick to come under Pass Without Trace.
Okay. So how have you secured the prisoner?
I left that to
Hogtied him.
Jack.
Hogtied him. Basically.
Okay.
We'll just drag him along the ground. Carefully and quietly.
It would be so much less obtrusive to just, carry
Lift
him.
him. Yep.
I know.
Probably not from the ropes though,
No,
unless you're trying to dislocate his both arms.
not
Aye.
yet, anyway.
Not much point when he's unconscious.
No, I can't feel it.
Between the 3 of us, I feel like we can carry him.
Yep. I'm
I'll
happy
carry
with
him.
that.
Gonna be me carrying him, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean,
It's mostly you carrying him. It's technically a team effort.
Jack's carrying his feet. It's about as far as you can reach.
I can very quietly give you enhanced strength if you want. Make it easier.
That would be nice.
Yeah. Then I'll give you enhanced ability. So you'll get a advantage on strength checks, and your carrying capacity doubles. So
Ooh.
yeah.
Ooh, nice.
Excellent. That should make this much easier.
Carry Jack as well. Okay, that's fine. So, prisoner in tow, or over the shoulder, as the case may be. You off back to the portal?
Yes.
Yep.
Definitely.
Been
Okey-doke.
enough excitement.
Fine. You get back to the alleyway you came from. Try not to fall over any of the apples on the floor.
I'll grab an apple on the way.
Of course you will.
That poor woman.
Jack's
Um,
gonna do the same, actually. He's gonna, pocket a few.
Not many fresh apples over the other side, so
Okay. The portal is still there. That's not a problem. So you can carefully clamber through with the prisoner in tow. as you move through the portal, you're greeted by Emile and Sillik.
Wake us
you're
all-
back.
You're awake!
Yes, yes. Lovely sleep. Seems I've missed quite a bit. Who the devil is this that you're bringing through here?
Myrtle. Don't know his name. He
Oh,
wasn't as
yeah.
forthcoming during Mal's interrogation.
We've taken to calling him prick.
Anyway, Emile, could you please close the portal for now?
Yes, of course.
Thank you.
Closes the portal down and offers you opener back.
Thank you. Okay. Right. Let's... Do we move away from here slightly before waking this guy up? It is,
No.
Yeah.
I think the crater that was pool.
I
Kind of
mean, if it
confront.
comes to it, I suppose we could throw him into the crater.
Yeah.
It's
You're already
quite
in the
dangerous
crater.
in there.
I was gonna say we could get him right in the middle of it. Makes it difficult for him to run away if he somehow manages to get out of his bonds. Quite slippery. Jack knows that. He went down it on his face first.
Yeah, it's not very pleasant.
I
I'd
know,
rather
still
move a
hurts.
little bit.
Don't forget there are still artifacts in the very centre of the crater.
Yeah. But
Yeah,
can either harm him or empower him.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
probably take him away from the crater.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would like to... Are there any, like, stands of trees or something nearby, at least, that we could...
Yeah, a little way.
Tie him
back.
to. Yeah. Probably best to
Just
tie him to
something
a tree.
so as people come along, we're not immediately obvious.
We'll just interrogate a guy in the middle of the road. Nothing to see here!
I mean, the town's disappeared, so... Yeah, I would like
Never
to go over to the cover of some probably quite shrubby, not growing very well trees on this side.
All fine. You going to fasten him to a tree for safety, or you might have
Yeah, I
to
think so.
tie him a bit first?
If we're going to do that, can we make sure that his hands are properly bound?
Yeah.
Because, like, we don't know if he's a spellcaster. We don't know if there's anything else that he might be able to do with his hands on a tree.
Empty
So-
all his pockets as well.
Okay.
Jack's gonna go through all his pockets.
Okay.
See if you got any shinies.
If we tie
If
his
we-
hands together, we can also bind up the fingers
Mm.
so that he can't use them for spellcasting.
Jack, you find a few bits of coin, nothing very interesting. You do find a double circle insignia.
Well, that's confirmation.
I think this guy's inner circle. Well, I mean, the fact he already kind of knew what was going on tells us that, but yes.
The fact he knows your bloodline is
Yeah.
the concerning bit.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Anyway,
there
it's
isn't
fine.
anything else interesting. You don't find any notable equipment on him. He doesn't appear to be armed. Doesn't appear to be armored. He has his robes and he has his insignia.
Wolf, you might want to look at chat.
Thank you very much. I don't think I have a funny hat immediately to hand, unfortunately. So we'll have to make do without.
I might take his robes as well, so you can just be like,
Listen, we're not wanting to look suspicious, but this is already starting to look like a dogging night out. If we're in the side of the woods, with a man
It's a
tied
little
there.
bit, yeah.
I think Sillik is probably a little bit taken aback at all of this. I assume this man has truly crossed us for you to be doing all of this, yes?
Well,
Ah,
he's in our circle.
He is inner circle. He is fully intending to kill us all. And the only reason Mal wasn't killed on sight is because he has inherited power from the chief of the inner circle.
And he was a bit of a prick.
He really was.
So,
But I think he's really powerful, so we need to be very careful.
yeah.
It certainly
Like,
sounds like he'll have some answers for us at this rate. And if he's in a circle, then I certainly want to know about what he knows. Well, yes, keep going. Sorry, I hate to interrupt.
Yeah, he had no, like, they didn't even bother taking Mal's weapons when they took him. He doesn't think that Mal has. He clearly thought Amal was absolutely no threat to him whatsoever, despite being a sorcerer.
he was quite rude. He was very rude.
Have we checked for any pre-existing protections or anything this man may have already cast? If he was that confident in front of you, then I'm a little concerned.
Not yet. I'll be honest. I'm mostly focused on knocking him out.
There might be something to check, though.
I think you're the only one of us that can smell magic, so...
I've got detect magic. So, yeah, I will,
that might be best.
on that basis. So, Sillik will be, okay, well, yes, let me quickly give him a check, and I'll kind of give him the hand movement or whatever is required to detect some magic.
That's fine. He has a low-level magical residue about him, but the only significant magic you detect comes from his insignia.
Can I only
I'm going to
detect
keep that away.
that there is magic, or is there anything about the type of magic that might be on there?
You can tell that it's some sort of transformation magic, but you can't tell what sort.
I see.
Ooh.
Definitely
Well-
keeping that away from him then.
Yeah, relay that the insignia has that property and just be like, well, should we strip him of that?
Oh, yeah.
I'm a
Oh,
little
yeah.
concerned. Who knows what
I
he
got
might turn into?
I got it. I'll go to stick it in my pocket. Keep that out of sight, out of mind.
Yeah.
Might be useful for later.
Okay.
As I'm tying him up, I'm also going to have a quick glance at the clothes and make sure there isn't any like magic circles or spell work or anything on the clothes.
No,
I'm not sure if we're being.
there's nothing interesting about his robe.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I would rather be paranoid than dead. Bluntly.
Probably the correct decision.
Why do you think I wanted to take the clothes? If he's in his skivvies, he can't really do anything.
Yeah, fair point.
There's a logic
I
to
mean,
it,
if you really want to strip him on, you go.
I mean, leave him in his boxers. I'm not an animal.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Apparently, we're stripping him.
Apparently so.
I shall pause in the tying him up. Indeed, I will probably need to undo some of the rope.
It's alright.
Right,
I'll help.
on with-
Jack will help. Jack will
On
help.
with
Come
it
on.
before he wakes up.
Huh?
Yeet.
You can always threaten to take his dignity further.
Okay, I shall quickly return, bind up his hands, including fingers, I wrap rope around him attached to the tree, not tight enough to be deeply uncomfortable, but not necessarily torturous. And his legs shall be bound above the knee and at the ankle.
Okay.
Sitting down. Because if he does manage to do anything, then he would also need to get to his feet before he can do
Yeah.
much getting free. So,
Yeah. All reasonable to me.
Are we ready?
Other than wait for him to wake up, what would you like to do?
I want to check how Emile is. Because he's the only one that could use opener at the
At the crater.
crater, yes. Words. It might also be worth speaking to opener as well in the meantime.
What would you like to do first then?
Probably speak to opener.
Okay.
So I shall unsheath it. Be like, hello, opener.
Yes.
Managed to acquire what appears to be an inner circle member. Is there any information in particular we should be looking for from him?
This is unusual. It is unclear what benefit can be obtained.
Well, we still feel like we're floundering around in the dark and have no idea what we're doing. So I think that from our perspective, any information we get from him could be useful. Actually, the most important bit might be finding out what their plans are for Mal and his bloodline.
Without mentioning anything about Emile to this guy. Because I don't know.
Oh
if-
god, no. We need to keep Emile out of his sight.
Yeah.
I can blind him with a spell. Like,
I think I'd rather just keep Emile out of sight.
yeah, that works.
Jack can always like go and entertain him.
I think that might be a good idea.
Yep. We'll make sandwiches. We'll go make sandwiches. That's what we'll do.
Come on, Emile. You're gonna talk to this guy and we're gonna make some sandwiches. Cause I know you've been in my stash.
Okay. We were hungry.
That's fine. But you gotta replace them.
Make
I'll show
extra.
you.
Make extra for Sillik if he's been asleep for the past couple of days.
Yeah. So it's gonna be really hungry. So we'll make some of my extra bacon. Extra bacon. And whatever else we got in the stash for food.
Much
We'll do a
appreciated.
special.
I look forward to that. There's quite the hunger. Well,
We'll get a feast going.
I was thinking that the part I might play here would be... I'll keep quiet and stand at the back looking intimidating, and should you need me, call upon my services. Hopefully that will have some impact.
I think that's a good plan. Okay. I will be incredibly cliche and throw some water in this guy's face.
Okay. He splutters because you've just thrown a face full of water on him, and sort of shakes his head to rouse himself. Looks down at his hands, shifts, looks up. Not too bad, not too bad. Not the best
So
I've
much
ever
fun.
dealt with, but not too bad. Talented amateurs.
Well, I've heard that a lot. So much for having me at an advantage. So, let's see how the shoe fits the other foot.
What shoes?
Did we
I think
take each?
we have adverts coming up, just to warn.
Where?
No, that's Nightbot, not Fairy.
My apologies.
Fine.
Fair.
Good.
Okay.
No, you didn't take his shoes off. He never had any shoes on.
Actually asked very much about this guy. Okay. Well, it doesn't massively matter. What exactly you managed to do here. You're currently on the other side of the veil. This is where we are in charge. Not the circle, not the inner circle.
And even then, we're still subservient to the gods. You know, the actual gods that they've got over here. So I think you might be a wee bit out of your depth.
I'm not convinced that I am. Armand protects me here, just as he does everywhere else.
Give it up. Like, surely by now, you've figured out that there's no such thing at all. If
Dear boy, Armand is very, very real.
Perhaps. But so are the gods that are still on this side. And frankly, I don't really mind if they are real, if they are real but not gods. My concern is more, what was the benefit of splitting the world in two? Was it just to have only one god on one side? To have somewhere that can be controlled?
Well, you see, without order, there is only disorder. But without disorder, order is a happy and peaceful life for everybody.
Aye, a happy and peaceful life that you can't object to. You can't raise any kind of concerns or problems or issues. There's
You
no
don't have
choice.
concerns. Only
I
a
mean-
very few, in 700 years, only a very few have ever raised issues.
Yes,
You look
because they've been
recently
brainwashed
about-
their entire life.
The difference between brainwashing and education is merely a matter of degrees.
At least you said degree and not perspective. However, how do the people that live on this side of the veil factor into that? You have made their lives infinitely worse.
That's correct. That is... What was the phrase that we used all those years ago? Oh yeah. Collateral damage.
I mean, I'd rather think of them as people who are currently suffering thanks to your decisions.
700 years. This side of the veil has been declining, while your side sucks the energy and life out of it.
Yes,
So
it's
that
worked
you
very
can
well,
have,
hasn't it?
so you can have an illusion of order.
It's not an illusion. You grew up there. You
Aye,
saw
and
it
look
for
at us
yourself. Yes,
We did,
you have,
and we've
you-
rejected it.
you
Aye,
have indeed
kept it
rejected
perfectly
it.
orderly.
It was unfortunate that you were in the wrong place at the wrong time to have your illusions dispelled sufficiently. Another hour here, another mile there. You would have been blissfully ignorant for the rest of your days.
Except that there were tears in the veil.
Yes, there were. It
Naturally
happens.
occurring.
Every now and
Seems a
again.
little sloppy.
Well,
Or
when
like
you've
you're
built,
not.
when you've had something built and working for as long as this, parts start to degrade. You have to do some maintenance.
But you weren't doing it very well.
Well, it's all about priorities. Part
For a
of the
system so-
reason for you to be encouraged to traverse the land is precisely to prevent the need for direct maintenance.
And yet, it took almost no time at all for us to find a being from this side of the veil.
There has
He
to
was
be
quite-
some truth in the rumours of monsters.
Except this one was a person.
They're all people. Your teaching. Sentience is what makes you a person.
No, that giant white fish didn't seem like a person.
Did it talk to you?
Oh,
Well, isn't that useful? It can't tell you what its opinion is when you kill it.
but we didn't kill it.
No, you're merciful.
We are not like you.
your training was incomplete.
We have killed.
Well,
We
we
can do
know.
something
We have been
necessary.
told. We have been watching.
On this side?
We should
I mean,
know
I
you
would
by the
expect
trail of
you
your
to.
dead.
I would expect you to be able to see on this side. Though I don't know how much detail you managed to get.
Nor can you seem to intervene on this side.
Well,
Just another.
that is a political question.
That
Great.
would involve agreeing to use some resources onto the side they're trying to drain to death.
Just another bunch of useless voyeurs watching over people's shoulders, trying to figure out what they're up to.
Probably most of them. But I'm sure there's some in the inner circle that are quite competent.
I know we managed to
Like-
knock this out pretty easy.
He didn't know we were there.
Aye. So much for your
Or
watch.
knew that I was behind him and didn't think there was any danger.
Either way,
Or
Armand didn't prevent
perhaps
you being
knew.
kidnapped.
perhaps knew that you were there, knew what you intended, and was more than happy to see this play out. Which is the one thing that I and others, but not all of us, one thing that I cannot do is let the way be open. So thank you. You have spared me a great deal of effort.
Well, you did ask how we had managed to travel such a distance and not be caught. You mentioned Mal's bloodline. Is the power in it useful?
Consistently.
you're going to have to give us more.
I think your power existing helps uphold the veil.
That's not a good sign.
Though that could be a laughably stupid conclusion. I look back at our captive.
You presume that every member of the inner circle knows everything that every other member of the inner circle knows.
Well, what use is your little tea party if he's only sharing information?
Ah, dear boy. Politics. Politics always.
Funnily enough, I never got around to my politics classes. Do you know what classes I
have.
did excel at?
I've checked your transcript.
I'm sure you have. So you know I could leave you a nice wee pyre over here. See just how far your plans can go while you're nothing but ash.
The real question is if he is able to communicate with others in the circle while he is here.
Probably not without his little badge, right?
Fully.
That would
It's
be
quite
telling.
simple. Because if you don't tell us more about Mal's bloodline, I'll just kill you here.
And at least when I do it, it'll be quick.
Oh,
Well, quick-
children, I would dearly love to see you.
Actually, you still have opener on you, right?
Mhm.
Give his blood a little taste test.
Oh, that is a good idea. I pull opener back out and stab it into the guy's leg.
Remember those gods you were so uncertain about?
As you draw opener, you see his eyes bulge suddenly in response. He doesn't get a chance to speak before you stab him in the leg. Everybody except for Jack make a constitution.
God,
Constitution.
explode.
Okay.
Oh, we'd better not have blown up another one, I swear to God.
13.
9.
6.
Ooh.
Okay. With a swell and a sloughing, the figure before you dissolve into a pile of entrails and fat. Ari-ah manages to keep whatever is left of the lunch inside of it.
Ad break is Seribot is saying ad break now.
That's perfectly timed, ad break.
Isn't it?
Oh, I'm so glad that Jack wasn't there.
Grim.
I can just see Jack sitting thinking, I wonder how it's going. No, you hear as a sort of... And then,
Will, Will,
Odd.
can you cut the audio to the stream, please?
We're back. What a mess you've made.
I didn't realise he was going to just melt.
Soup. Chunky soup.
Where
Still
are
got-
the ones? Where are the
Oh.
other organs?
Ooh.
This isn't a complete person.
Opener, do you have any idea what just happened? Care to explain yourself, Mr. Knife?
Yes.
Could you share with the class?
You have disrupted a magical effect.
What magical effect?
It is unknown to me.
Okay.
Good to know you can do that. Huh.
Did you have a chance to see if he has a blood connection to one of the gods?
It would appear that there is still sufficient blood to make this determination.
Okay. I shall
Okay. He was left a jab.
place some of the blood on Opener's blade.
This is not divine, but it is pre-divine.
Oh. So they're raising up not
Yep.
not demigods, going the other way. They're making mortals closer to divine to have them have enough power to control things.
Or, from the phrase pre-divine, what came before the gods? We're going to have to go and do some history digging.
We are. I mean, I guess it could be something like primordial gods or like gods born of natural elements. Like the spirits of a mountain or something like that. Oh well. He definitely recognized you, Opener.
I have been told I am quite memorable.
Oh, you are.
So what did we learn today? We show the knife first, and then we stab people after.
I'm not sure how much more information we'd have got from him.
True.
At least, not the things we want to know.
Yeah.
It seems
Alright.
as though he was overseeing the outer circles, control over the population, people doing their loop. And they use the loop so that they don't need to bother fixing tears in the veil?
Yep. That does make sense.
That's tacky.
Does that surprise you?
Well, no, not really.
Okay. Do we have an empty potion bottle? Anyone? We've swigged a couple of potions, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, probably. I'm sure we will have them kicking about.
Right. Get a sample of what's left of this guy, and then throw some leaf litter on him, I guess. Kind of cover him up a bit. We'll take a sample so we can, if we can find any actual wizards around here, we can go and see if they can figure out what exactly this was. But aye. Oh well.
It would have been very difficult to get more from him.
I think so.
The thing I really want to know is, why are they after your bloodline?
Because I'm just that fucking great, I guess. Weird thing is, you know, you go and check around all the battles in Sperris, I'm sure you'd find plenty of people from my bloodline.
That does... Really, Mal?
You'd at least be able to find a sample, depending on what tavern you went into. Anyway.
Ignoring that, passing on your blood doesn't necessarily mean that it passes on the power of a bloodline.
No, I feel like we would probably have found that out by now.
I would hope so.
Mm.
And none of the rest of us have divine, pre-divine anything in us.
I think he's all have a little bit. But enough that seemingly everyone has a little bit. Which would imply it's from back before the split happened, so... Well, I'm going to avoid the massive existential questions that are involved in this and go and see if Jack's made me a sandwich.
I think a few feet behind you, from behind a bush, Sillik emerges, having quietly retched and been disgusted by the man turning into goop. And is wiping his mouth in a slightly different shade of green. Oh, I was listening to all of that. My apologies. I've lost my appetite. I can't believe you want to eat after seeing that.
It's the best way to do it. We're throwing up.
Ugh. And he holds his mouth.
Well, that might be hangovers. I'm no sure, but I'll find out.
I'm sorry. Next time I'll stick a normal blade in the heart. Though I'm not. Though most people would be squeamish about that as well. We really have changed on this loop, haven't we?
Jack's gonna come round the corner with like a platter of like these like really thick sandwiches with egg and bacon.
Like, bad type. Bad type.
Yeah.
Fine. We'll just move away from here.
Yeah. Don't look, sandwiches. Don't look.
So I shoo them all off and dig a shallow scrape and push the entrails in. Cover the whole area with some fallen leaves. To prevent other people coming upon it and throwing up.
Yeah. Looking out for other people. Okay.
And even get to use my intimidation.
Opener was intimidating enough.
Oh.
Damn, I should have asked about Pool. But I'm not convinced he would have known.
No, or
From the
told
sounds
us.
of it. Really does sound like he did like personnel type things.
Yeah. We do have something to consider, though.
You have too much to consider.
But a primary one, if they can follow us over the veil, do we want to get rid of his insignia in case it's somehow an easier way for them to track us, or do you think they're already just keeping an eye on us anyway?
Would it be worth getting Balioth's opener and maybe asking about the insignia and touching it to it? Maybe it could tell us, like, a little bit more about exactly what it does.
Do an Arcana check on it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, we can. I think between Arcana checks and like we can normally identify a magic item with some downtime, so we'll maybe do that over lunch.
You're a sorcerer. You're the best bet for checking it and working it out.
That's debatable, but I'll give it a go.
I will help.
Alexei is 100% the most likely person to put on a cursed item.
See
yeah,
how
let's
I'm
not do that this time.
Yeah. See how I'm learning? I'm saying that we should look at it first before I put it on.
Well, Jack will fish it out of his pocket and hand it over while he hands out a sandwich to everybody.
Oh, thank you, Jack. He's got a shaky hand. I'll just pocket that for later. Yeah, it's a shame we didn't learn a little bit more from that man. But I suppose, well, should we dally here? Were we camping for the night?
It might be for the best.
Might be
Can't do-
safest.
We can't do much else, and we need to get back.
We do.
to
I'm still concerned about Pool, but I can't work out what's happened.
But we can pass the information on once we get to, I cannot remember the name of the place, with the big hole. Cragfall? No.
Yes.
Frankfall's the town that you came from. Round you is where you want to end up. Big hole.
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can pass the information on once we're there and get someone to come out and have a look at it.
See if anyone, a pair of fresh eyes, have any better ideas.
Mm.
Do we have... This is town number 3, isn't it? Or is it 2? Check
This
my
is the
notes.
second of the 2 towns that you were looking for horses in.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, we shall camp tonight and we return to Ground Hue in the morning.
So, are you going to return to Cragfall in the morning, or are you going to set out for Round?
No, because we need the horses to get out to ground you, so we'll return to Cragfall in the morning.
Okay.
Yeah.
You already have horses.
No, we have the horses.
I thought we sent them away with the other guy. You're right, we have them.
We did, yes. We have enough to get us back to Ground Hue.
That's right.
We need
Okay.
to go to Ground Hue.
Yes, we do. So that is our destination.
Okay. So you're going to camp here overnight, try and puzzle out the secrets of the insignia, and then set off in the morning.
Sounds like a plan.
Yes.
Perfect. Are you going to take a meal with you?
Yes.
Okay.
Where would we leave him?
Yeah, I was about to say, where are we going to leave him?
You tell me. I'm asking the question.
No, Emile comes with us. We're not abandoning him in the middle of nowhere.
Leave him to fend for himself. No.
I mean, he
Come
might
on,
be
he's
able
done
to.
pretty well so far.
I'll get the pig back to look after him.
Nah. Jack will want to turn it into bacon next time.
Yeah. Perfectly good pig.
He was very friendly.
Because he wasn't bacon.
It was promised food.
Yeah.
He was only doing it for the food. Trust me. Okay. We'll set up camp, but we need to keep watch.
Yeah.
I mean, a pile of viscera might attract God knows what.
Yeah. Gonna suggest that you take the first watch, Mal,
Yep.
while looking at the insignia, because in theory that should be the least eventful.
Yep.
I'll take second.
I'll take third.
And if Sillik can sleep at all, he'll take one.
Well, fair enough.
As we're setting up, Ari-ah just... I mean... I guess at the least taking out an inner member circle removes a small part of their strength.
It's also a good intimidation tactic. We
Well,
took
it's
one
not-
of yours.
It's not like we were going to leave him alive anyway,
No.
so
No.
it's far too dangerous to let them live.
They did seem awfully confident, though, of the whole situation, and played it off as if it was part of their plan. Who's to say whether that was the truth? But we must keep that in mind.
The only thing that actually intimidated them was Opener.
It's useful information.
It is. I wonder...
They are scared of something.
Yeah. We don't have many other items from the gods.
No, I don't
But we
think
know
we do.
that they can view the other side and have a limited effect on it. I think the direct effect the inner circle can cause on this side of the veil is minimal.
Yeah, very.
But that also means that we need to pass through in order to deal with them. Thank goodness for opener.
And Emile.
And Emile.
Test
Emile.
Emile's blood with opener.
I think we did that. Did
I'll
we?
go back through my notes and check.
Yeah, no, because that's how we know that he's related to me.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's
it's
my
the
uncle.
same bloodline. And again, it seems as though if they're focusing on the two of you, then it's not everybody that's related by blood that has the power.
You have to assume.
If it was, they wouldn't be so frantic to find Emile. Anyway, I think it's time for some sleep, if we can.
Yeah. As we said, I'll take my watch and sit and prod at this insignia and see what I can find out.
Okay. Your watch passes uneventfully. There's pretty much no wildlife at all. Almost like there was a massive explosion here very recently. You're able to determine that the insignia would have the effect of improving your ability to enforce your will on others.
Ooh.
But unless you're prepared to put it on, you're not going to be able to identify exactly how great of an impact or any additional side effects.
Listen, I really want to put it on, but I'm going to hold off until I can speak to everyone and make a decision about it.
Okay.
Yeah, in that case, I'll go and wake up Ari-ah for her shift.
Yeah, okay. Any luck with the insignia?
Yes, it's definitely magical. I think it'll do some cool shit, but I'm going to wait until I talk to everyone about it before we decide if I'm going to put it on. Because I'm almost certainly going to put it on.
Good idea. If it does anything crazy, then I can knock you out and rip it off.
Please don't. You punch really hard. We've already had this discussion.
I will pull the punch this time.
I'm pretty sure you pulled them last time, and it still hurt. But okay.
I could get Jack to punch you?
That's worse. That's wee hands.
True. Concentrated pain.
Yeah, a lot more force at a smaller area.
Lower down as well.
And you're definitely not getting Sillik to punch me because I might die.
See? That means I'm the best option.
Logical option.
Fine.
Don't worry about it. We'll figure it out in the morning. Go sleep.
Okay.
Ari-ah, your watch passes uneventfully. You don't hear any birds. You don't see anything moving. You don't hear fish jumping from what remains of the lake. Everything is hiding.
Well, that sounds suspicious as heck.
There's a tasty meal of organ meats sitting under this tree. Nothing's even coming out for it.
Yeah. That is somewhat suspicious.
Mm.
It's fine. Not much we can do about it. Just now. Indeed, it might be something like the insignia.
Mm.
It might not be noticeable to us, but it might be to other creatures. The idea of that prick that animals wouldn't be capable of going through a tear in the veil. Ugh.
Well, it doesn't seem to take consciousness. It's just a hole in reality as far as we can see, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
So there's no reason that you would need to have a very high degree of sentience to be able to go through. Because we know that like multiple types of fish have, and some
Unless
of them
that's
might be highly intelligent, but it's unlikely that all of them are.
unless that's only for us. We can make holes. Nature creates rift. How would the circle get across?
The circle don't have a way to open the veil. They tried to make it so that the travel was only one way.
That's true.
Because otherwise the energy that they are draining from here, some of
Go
it
back.
could return.
Mhm.
That also means they're stuck on that side.
Mm.
Guerrilla warfare, I think. Anyway, I shall wake up the next person and go sleep. Ari-ah's brain hurts now.
That's reasonable. It was Jack, the third one.
Bacon, 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 bacon. Bacon, bacon. No. Bacon? Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
That sounds very accurate, but as long as you manage to stay awake and not drift off thinking about bacon, your watch passes uneventful. Nothing,
All right.
nothing moving around, nothing disturbing anyone. All very, very quiet.
All right. Then you'll just wake up Sillik and just it's a quiet night. Nothing seems to be moving.
Sillik's been just sat cross-legged in front of the fire, kind of meditating. Oh, is it already my turn? Okay, well, here's hoping it stays quiet. No more melting men.
Yeah, gooey.
Dear. Well, have a good sleep. And Sillik will prep breakfast and kind of keep an eye out at the same time.
Yep. Everything's fine. Nothing happens during your watch. No weird melting men. No companions having nightmares. Nothing weird at all. All in all, a very quiet night. Not far from the edge of a mysterious glassy crater. Sure, it's
good. Cool. Well, I'll rouse everybody, and I've gathered some nuts and berries, light breakfast as we kind of had the bacon and whatnot before bed. Morning all. I got some victuals for everyone. Well, I suppose let's get underway. No use dilly-dallying any further.
Yes, indeed.
Yep.
Oh! Mal, did you want to discuss the insignia?
Oh, yes. So, apparently, from what I can tell at least, it seems it will enhance my ability to impose my will on others. That's about all I can get out of it. Got a really strong, kind of skeezy feeling from it, but yeah, I figured it's worth a shot. It could make me much more convincing. We all know how well my efforts at convincing people to let things go.
Just be careful that it doesn't allow the circle to control you.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I was gonna say something similar. Like, hopefully they don't take over you
Yep.
and impose their will.
I mean, we can always rip the insignia off him if they do.
Hmm.
Like, we are...
Do we have any rope that doesn't have Melty Man on it?
I might have some more. And
Because
Ari-ah goes and digs in her pack.
I'm sure we probably do. In fact, I might go and find that rope and wash it.
in fact, that might be a good idea. I'll tell you what, you don't even need to. I have silk rope, which I think would be much preferable to whatever ridiculous hemp nonsense you're about to pull out your bag.
Look at Mr. Fancy over here.
How rude.
Some of us have expensive tastes.
Some
So,
of you
yeah,
have more money than sense.
what money? You've got all the money.
Now.
Yeah, fair. Okay, so how about this? I will take off my ring, so I'm slightly easier to punch in the back of the head. I will
We should
allow
tie you
myself.
up completely.
Yeah, allow myself to be tied.
And then put the
Mhm.
insignia on you.
Yep.
And then see what happens.
Yep, let you speak. And then I don't even need to knock you out to take it off.
We hope.
Unless something goes dramatically wrong. Anyway,
I'm just hoping you don't take the chance at a free shot.
you trust me, Mal?
Do you trust me?
Not at all.
There we go.
So I shall take the silk rope and tie Mal's hands up so he cannot cast.
Yep.
Pity we can't gag him as well.
I
For
do have one
reciting
in the bag,
spells, but we need to know what's happening with it. Okay.
Okay.
Now, are you comfortable?
Not particularly, but what can we do?
Okay. Try and tell me to do something forcefully.
I'm assuming that the insignia has been pinned on.
No, not yet. This is a
Okay.
baseline.
Right. Hop on one foot.
Okay.
Maybe.
I'm going to have Jack and Sillik stand off, like, with it outside of eyesight. So probably behind Mal. So that there's only one person that gets the... Or it's more likely to only be one person that gets the intent pushed towards them.
Jack's gonna slip into stealth as well. So, if we do need to rip it off him, he's not gonna see it coming.
To be fair, I'm tied up and facing one way. You just need to stand behind me.
Yeah, that's a 16 for stealth. So
Yeah.
If
Just
it
slip
gets
into
really
stealth.
awkward, I've got hold person that I can cast, and we just
Yeah.
got to hope that it actually lands if necessary.
Okay. Ari-ah
for it.
walks forward and pins the insignia on Malik's ire.
Okay.
So, tell me to do something.
Hop on one foot.
Is it more forceful than before?
Is more thoughtful than before. You are quickly able, Malachite, to determine that you are slightly more persuasive and slightly more intimidating. Ari-ah, make a wisdom save.
Wisdom. Damn. 3.
You hop once.
Ah!
I'm going to be really cautious and take the insignia off before asking any questions.
Probably for the
The
best.
pin of the insignia has fused.
Oh. It's fused to the clothing?
Fused to itself. You can't unpin it.
Oh.
I really hope this wasn't a bad idea. But we'll find out.
Well. Are you feeling any other effect?
Am I feeling any other effects?
Nope.
Ooh.
It doesn't make your clothing feel heavier. It doesn't seem to have any obvious impact on you.
Can't hear any whispers in the back of my head.
Only Jack threatening you, but that's normal.
Okay.
I think the only other thing I could suggest was maybe asking Opener about it. If it has an effect on Mal or not.
Mm-hmm. Hello, Opener.
Yes.
Apologies for bothering you so often at the moment. Mal has acquired an insignia from the inner circle. We can see some external effect, but I was hoping you could tell us if the insignia is affecting him himself.
I see. Experimenting with artifacts of other deities is a risky business.
Yes.
Tell me. My favourite thing to do.
I believe that the net effects are acceptable. There is no obvious influence upon his actions.
Good. Indeed, it might
That's a
only
privilege.
work for him out of all of us.
That we can try out once we find a place where I can get my tunic repaired once you rip it out of the cloth.
We'll see. Okay. Thank you, Opener.
You are welcome.
And I shall sheath Opener again.
Are we untying Mal now?
Yeah, I think so.
Don't damage the rope. Very good quality.
What do you take me for? I'm good with knots.
You know, I heard that from this dwarf back in Sperris.
I don't want to hear about your kinky things with the dwarves, Mal.
I think
No,
we
that-
came across enough of his kinky things with the
Mm.
dwarves and spirits.
Very true.
the bloodline you were talking about, possibly part dwarven?
A little bit of stone in there.
A gentleman never kisses and tells.
But nothing you've done has shown you to be a gentleman.
And let this be the first. Cool.
All right.
Ari-ah is going to whisper obnoxiously loudly to Jack. That just means he doesn't remember.
Gross. Makes it worse. Shall we head on then?
Yes, I
Yeah.
think so.
Okay.
The sooner we go, the sooner we can stop for lunch.
Always
true.
important. Okay. It is. Checking his note. It is 2 weeks of solid riding eastwards to reach round you. And therefore, this is where we will bring this season of the Varlastan Circle to a close. We will return fully refreshed with a whole raft of new and interesting adventures in the fullness of time.
I just hope nothing's happened to ground Hugh in the meantime.
Don't want to find another crater. Hopefully.
There is a big hole. I remember that.
Yes, an unknown tunnel network.
Yep.
So that'll be interesting. But yes, that's where we will leave it for tonight and for the season. So we will wrap it up there. Any last thoughts from our cast? Awful lot of uncomfortable and unimpressed faces there. Almost like the plot has thickened.
Thinking.
Ugh,
Yeah.
the plot is always thickening.
Yeah.
But Ari-ah is feeling a bit more... not necessarily comfortable, but a bit more optimistic.
Okay.
If members of the inner circle have divine or pre-divine blood, it might be easier to take them out than I feared. If Opener can make them explode or melt, then
That would require
then
getting
we've
up.
got a decent chance of at least taking down more of them.
Mhm.
Big problem is going to be when someone's ancestor is the one we're facing.
That's what fireballs are for.
He's either a god or close to it.
Yeah, what do you think that makes me?
True, it's fine. We have time to plan.
Aye.
Time to work this out and time to plan in the next 2 weeks.
Mhm.
So we will wrap it up. Stay tuned on the social media channels to find out when the next Varlastan Circle episode will be. We'll take a season break because I have lots of plot to plan. And we'll keep you updated with an ETA for us coming back just as soon as I have an idea of what that's going to be. For now, however, thank you for joining us this evening as our cast explored Varlastan, its inhabitants, its secrets, and its squishy meat men. I didn't name them, not my fault. We'd like to thank our sponsors, who may regret this decision, TheEndice.co.uk and Jim Hammer and Sons Gaming for supporting both the podcast and our other content. I build the setting in part using World Anvil's toolset. Check them out online. They are always releasing improvements. I can't even keep track of the improvements. It's ridiculous. You can also check out the page on penancerpg.com for the Varlastan Circle for any catch-ups that you want to go through. You can find the Penance RPG podcast on your favourite podcast app, and we're on social media at Penance RPG. Dragon and Amy are cast members from Penance RPG. Eden appears in Dark Tide as well. And I assist behind the scenes. They also sometimes appear in Pretending with Dice, another actual play variety podcast. You can find them on your podcast app as well. See our other scheduled streams on the Penance RPG channel. Please check the stream information below. I know that Nikolai is expecting to start up very shortly, so we are not going to raid out tonight. We're going to leave you all to his tender care, and we will see you again in the not too distant future. Good night from me, and it's good night from them.
Bye.
Good
Bye.
night.
Guys.